with slavery. Instead of adhering to it, Washington argued that the law didn't apply to him because he really was a resident of Virginia. He was only living in Philadelphia because of the presidency. To avoid the law, Washington's wife, Martha, would travel back to Virginia every 6 months with their slaves. Even though doing so was illegal, no one enforced the law. When he passed away, he still owned 300 slaves. I'm Tariq Lowe on the BIN.
Where Black news comes first.
Listen and stay informed. The Bay Area's BIN 910. I'm Doug Davis.
And I'm Esther Dillard on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Here are your top stories. Another school shooting. We have the latest. In Ferguson, Missouri, where Michael Brown was killed by an officer, the city has a new black police chief. And a high-profile racial discrimination case against electric car maker Tesla is underway. Former black Fremont, California Tesla employee Owen Diaz is back up for round 2 after rejecting last year's jury decision to award him $137 million. But after a U.S. district judge downsized the amount to $15 million, he filed for a retrial. This week, the new court case begins. He describes to NBC News some of the abuses he faced while on the job.
The N-word stretched into the bathroom stalls. They were calling me a clerk monkey and Spanish version of the N-word. This other guy was getting on the elevator with me, and he was telling me, Ian, hurry up and push the button. You guys are lazy.
The jury said they awarded Diaz that large amount to make a statement. Experts say that's a pretty large payout for any discrimination case. Tesla faces 2 other racial discrimination lawsuits, and Diaz told this to NBC News.
I'm just chilling out here.
Heartbreaking.
It's ripping our communities apart, ripping the soul of this nation, and ripping at the very soul of the nation. And we have to do more to protect our schools so they aren't turned into prisons.
He says the shooter had 2 AK-47s and a handgun.
So I call on Congress again to pass my assault weapons ban. It's about time that we begin to make some more progress.
The president commended the police and their quick response, noting the shooter had assault weapons. Biden once again called on Congress to ban assault weapons.
A few years back, the FBI snatched $40,000 in money saved from a black Beverly Hills, California couple. BlackEnterprise.com reports the cash was taken from U.S. private vaults, a former government agency who recently pled guilty to money laundering. The FBI was on a mission to seize over $80 million nationally. 2 years later, Linda and Reggie Martin say they've still not been told why their money was taken. Now the couple has filed a lawsuit claiming their Fourth Amendment rights were violated.
The whole purpose of the Fourth Amendment is I can't take Paul's property because I think I'm suspicious of Peter.
That's attorney Robert Frontman, who also filed a lawsuit against the federal government. In a press release, the couple stated the government shouldn't take something without telling you why. And finally, Blurredfest returns to Louisiana. It's a one-day festival dedicated to black nerds who enjoy comics, cosplay, anime, and students who are interested in STEM-related careers. The website states this year's theme is the multiverse. Black nerds and gamers will convene at McDonough 35 High School this Saturday. On social media, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Black Information Network. And we're on Twitter at BlackInfoNet. I'm Doug Davis, along with Esther Dillard on your home for 24/7 News. The Black Information Network. If 100,000 BIN listeners were able to advance their careers or succeed in a new one, it would be one step towards building a better future for all of us. To learn more about the 100,000 Careers Initiative, visit careerbuilder.com/BIN.
The Black Information Network.
The Bay Area's BIN 910. Your money on the Black Information Network.
There are 3 tax breaks for seniors that are often overlooked. CPA John Lieberman explains why seniors often miss a bigger standard deduction, a deduction for Medicare premiums, and a total contribution of up to $14,000 to your IRA if both you and your spouse are at least 50 years old.
People overlook it, they don't realize that they turn 65, they get an extra benefit.
Lieberman says the standard deduction is all based on your age.
If you turn 65 in 2022, don't overlook the fact that you get an extra $1,400 in addition to your standard deduction.
And if you and your spouse are both 65,
And you get a double benefit, which is $2,800 added to the $25,900 standard deduction.
now if you become self-employed after you retire, you premiums for Medicare Part B and D, plus the cost of supplemental Medicare policies, as long as you're not covered by any other health plan. The deduction is available whether you itemize or not. It is not subject to the 7.5% of a typical income test, and it applies to itemized medical expenses. Money News at 24 and 54 minutes past each hour. I will get quiet on your home for 24/7 news. The Black Information Network and DINnews.com.
All day, every day.
The power of information. The Bay Area's BIN 910. And up to latest on your home for 24/7 news and the Black Information Network.
In Cleveland, Ohio, family and friends of 22-year-old African-American Alicia Pointer will have to wait for sentencing of 3 people who pleaded guilty to charges connected with her death. WKYC in Cleveland reports sentencing has been postponed to a future unknown date for Portia Williams, Nathaniel Pope Jr., and Destiny Henderson. The station reports officials say the process was delayed because the court granted a mistrial for 3 other defendants who were also charged in her death. Investigators say the suspects allegedly abducted Pointer, held her in a house, and later shot and killed her.
A deadly disease called the Marburg virus has killed 12 people in Equatorial Guinea and Tanzania. Any of these questions, Healthcare Help Desk can help you now when people need help the most. Health insurance laws and rules have changed. If you have a moment, you're uninsured, or your premiums are too high. Now, top quality coverage at the lowest prices anywhere. You may be paying too much and not even know it. In these troubled times, healthcare is more important than ever. Don't let another day go by without health insurance. Policies are being offered with very low copays and deductibles. So if you're uninsured, underinsured, or paying too much, call Healthcare Help Desk. 800-421-3277. 800-421-3277. 800-421-3277. As the Biden administration ratchets up its war on Americans' right to keep and bear arms, a groundbreaking new book from Regnery Publishing pushes back and offers hope for the future. Professional firearms instructor and veteran gun store owner Larry Correa's new book, In Defense of the Second Amendment, pulls back the curtain on Washington's gun-grabbing agenda and how you can protect your rights. You'll learn why gun-free zones are more dangerous for college students and average citizens, how so-called gun control laws handcuff law-abiding Americans while allowing dangerous violent criminals to run wild in our cities, and offers solid details on how America has a history of gun ownership that is under attack by liberals in Congress. If you care deeply about protecting your Second Amendment rights and keeping your family safe, you must read In Defense of the Second Amendment. You from Regnery. Available now at Amazon.com and wherever books are sold. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher inviting you to join me for a remarkable travel opportunity that will change your life forever. Dennis Prager and I are headed back to the Holy Land, Israel, this October. It's the Stand with Israel Tour. Join us along with our trusted partner, Inspiration Cruises and Tours. We'll take you to key sites in the Holy Land, thoughtfully designed to give you unprecedented access to a region you've likely only read about. Visit StandWithIsraelTour.com and get all the details. We'll uncover important geopolitical locations and show you Israel's significance on the world stage, past, present, and future. Step foot on the ancient streets of Jerusalem. We'll sail the Sea of Galilee, pray at the Western Wall, and so much more. We'll have guides for our group, lavish food, and luxurious accommodations. No other trip will be like this one. Come with Dennis and me this October. Register today. Call 855-565-5519. 855-565-5519. Or go to StandWithIsraelTour.com. StandWithIsraelTour.com. Turbulent times call for clear-headed insight. That's hard to come by these days, especially on TV. That's where we come in. The new Salem News Channel, the greatest collection of conservative minds, all in one place. Home to the people you trust. Dennis Prager, Mike Gallagher, Sebastian Gorka, and more. Refreshingly honest, always unfiltered. Streaming free on your TV 24/7. Intelligent analysis for intelligent people. Find what you're looking for at SNC.TV. That's SNC.TV. To paraphrase Thomas Jefferson in his first inaugural address, we're all libertarians. All of us support individual liberty, economic freedom, physical sanity, and the right to live our lives without excessive government intrusion. Join Bob Sadek Sunday mornings at 8 for a full hour of discussion with the smartest guests on radio. Live, spontaneous, and thoughtful. Your calls are welcome on the show of ideas, not attitude. The Bob Sadek Show. Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. Only on 860 a.m. The Answer.
What aren't we being told about the COVID-19 scenario, about covert climate engineering operations that are wreaking havoc with weather all over the world, about the totality of unfolding and accelerating global environmental collapse? If you're willing to face and investigate shocking, verifiable realities from mainstream media sources and their distract and divide talking heads will never tell you, tune into the commercial-free, non-political Global Alert News Hour, Sunday, 4 p.m. on AM 860, The Answer. This is Dane Wigington from geoengineeringwatch.org.
With SRN News, I'm Keisha Stevens. Police say the transgender shooter who killed 3 kids and 3 adults at a private Christian elementary school in Nashville Monday was a former student of the school. The 28-year-old biological woman was living as a man. Officials say the shooter had a manifesto and had planned to attack 2 schools, but decided against the second school because it had security in place. They also say that she expressed resentment at having to attend the Christian school in the past. A group of Republican senators introduced a measure to overturn President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan. Bill author Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy says Biden's $400 billion executive action favors a small group of borrowers and leaves behind Americans who hold other forms of debt and who paid off their school loans. This is SRN News.
Called them the N-word while they were in custody. They tortured them, even sticking a gun in one of the black men's mouth.
This is how they treated my son. After shooting shots on me, a bullet in his mouth.
And the attorney for Michael Jenkins says the deputy fired.
And the trigger was pulled, intending to kill him. And it's only by God's grace that he stands here today, because the bullet escaped on the right side of his neck.
These horrific racist allegations, enough for the feds to come in. The Justice Department and the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations are investigating. The sheriff says Jenkins pointed a gun, but no body cam footage has been released of the January incident as proof.
Latasha Smith still has a bullet lodged in her arm. Black woman from Mississippi was in her home last December when the bullet came through the wall. She says Capitol Police were in hot pursuit of someone in a car chase when they started firing into her apartment complex, and she was hit. Smith tells NBC News she is still waiting for answers, and the state has not given a timeline for more details or even the release of the body cam video. We do know the officer suspected of firing the shot was on leave, but has since returned to active duty.
For more on these stories and international, national, state, and local news affecting the black community, listen to the Black Information Network on the iHeartRadio app or log on to BINnews.com. I'm Vanessa Tyler with Mike Stevens on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
I'm Tariq Lowe with Maybe You Didn't Know. The township of Allensworth, California, near Bakersfield, was created in 1908. The location boasted fertile soil and ample supply of water and was along a railroad corridor. By 1912, many successful small businesses existed, and there was a school district. The Oakland Sunshine reported that the township generated $5,000 a month. The community was thriving. Maybe you didn't know that Allensworth, California, was an all-black township, the first of its kind. It was founded by Colonel Allen Allensworth and a group of other black men attempting to create a refuge away from oppression and wishing to become self-reliant. Allensworth numbered around 300 residents at its peak. The problems with salts creeping into the water table led to drinkable water problems. The township's population dwindled away until it was just a memory. Allensworth is now memorialized as Colonel Allensworth State Historic Park, featuring a number of restored early 20th century buildings, including the Colonel's House. A yearly rededication ceremony is held to commemorate the original vision of the Allensworth pioneers. I'm Tariq Lowe on BIN.
Black journalism at work.
Because truth matters. The Bay Area's BIN 910. I'm Esther Dillard on your home for 24/7 News, San Francisco's BIN 910. The former CEO of failed Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank are being called to testify before Congress. The Senate Banking Committee wants answers about what led to the bank's failures. The two executives indicated they won't attend a March 28th hearing, but lawmakers urged them to testify before the panel at a later date.
When our paycheck is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back!
In California, hundreds of middle and high school teachers marched and chanted outside of Oakland City Hall during a demonstration over contract negotiations with the school district. NBC Bay Area reports teachers are frustrated that contract negotiations have been going on since October. Teachers tell the station there's a big gap between what the teachers want and what the district is proposing. The station reports teachers are concerned about class size, possible school closures, and mergers. Vanessa Brooks is a black grandmother who came out to support.
For me, as a grandparent and had kids that came up through Oakland schools, I support the fact that we got to pay our teachers. They're supporting our students.
Teachers accuse OUSD of bargaining in bad faith because of canceled meetings and failure to address the union's proposals. That's the sound of construction workers fixing the areas of 3rd Street Bridge at McCovey Cove in San Francisco. 3 60-foot deck barges were adrift, colliding with the bridge after recent storms and high winds caused them to break free. The area was closed to boats. Officials say they are assessing the damage to the walkways on the bridge that took the bulk of the damage.
You see that it's very badly buckled there. A couple of the steel beams that are supporting just that sidewalk portion got crunched by the barges and bent.
The U.S. Coast Guard is responding to many navigation hazards created by the recent storms. Several docks with vessels, still more to them, broke loose and were adrift in the Oakland estuary area. Former Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti has been sworn in as the U.S. ambassador to India. Vice President Kamala Harris led the swearing-in ceremony in Washington, D.C. The U.S. Senate recently confirmed Garcetti's nomination nearly 2 years after President Biden picked him for the position. Biden then renominated him in January after the confirmation process stalled. California is lifting some water restrictions as drought conditions dramatically improve this winter. California is increasing the deliveries in the state water project to 75% and removing some restrictions. California Governor Gavin Newsom says the state is still in an underground water deficit and there are still drought issues with the Colorado River. That means some other restrictions will remain in place, including outdoor watering at commercial buildings. And finally, the Oakland Zoo is on the hunt for 3 exotic birds. 6 escaped when heavy winds sent a large tree crashing down on their aviary. Workers found 3 birds, including an endangered African hooded vulture. I'm Esther Dillard on your home for 24/7 News, San Francisco's BIN 910.
The NABJ is committed to training and supporting black journalists, media professionals, journalism students, and educators. Learn more at nabj.org. That is nabj.org.
When you need to know,
This is where black news comes
the
first.
Bay Area's BIN 910. Born into slavery in 1800 on a South Carolina plantation, when it was illegal for enslaved people to be literate, David Drake would become the first enslaved potter to inscribe his work, sometimes with poetry. I wonder where is all my relations? Friendship to all and every nation. An act of resistance that some speculate cost him his leg. Known as Dave the Potter, he produced alkaline-glazed stoneware jugs. It is estimated he created as many as 40,000 pieces in his lifetime. Due to the systemic erasure of enslaved people's history, biographical information is sparse, but auction records indicate David Drake had several enslavers before emancipation. Recent attention to David's work has also exposed the art world's long-standing blind spot for the utilitarian, even though jugs and quilts were the only available outlet for subjugated genius. In 2020, one of his jugs sold for $369,000. His descendants have received no reparations. And that's a fact. I'm Weston Tishome for the Black Information Network.
Call the Black Information Network hotline and let us know what's happening in your community. 855-500-9EIN.
Honoring the women whose contributions shaped this country.
Here was the first real crack in the walls
segregation in education.
And change the world. We have to keep talking to voters who don't see themselves in the electorate, who don't hear their issues discussed by candidates until the last few days.
Thanks for celebrating Women's History Month
With the Black Information Network.